Hi, Pastor Jer. I've watched Noel Plum's video and I've watched your response to it. And in your video, you stated that you that Jesus came down to earth to pay a debt that was not owed by him. It was a debt that you owed to God that you could not possibly pay. Um, Sorry, cat here. I have a question, and I'm being seriously, and I really want an honest answer. I'm not trying to be flippant. If God knows all and can do all and sees all, when He created man with certain flaws and certain tendencies towards sin. And in your worldview, which I don't believe, obviously, but in your worldview, God is all powerful, all knowing, and yet He created humans with the potential to choose wrong and instead of choosing right. And he created people that way and knew that he was going to punish them if they chose wrong. To me, that's not free will. Free will means that you can choose freely without any possibility of that choice coming back and biting you in the butt. If you knew that you could choose one of two things, but one of them was going to condemn you to an eternity in hell, which is not a pleasant place to be, I would think, in your worldview. It's not really a free choice, don't you think? Um, and I think God being in your worldview, being as powerful as He is, He would be able to see the flaw in creating humans with this great potential of free will to choose wrongly. And I, I don't want to even get into the part of him putting the tree and putting the snake and the temptation in there, because that raises an interesting point to me, is that God told them not to eat of the fruit or they would die. Well, the fruit was of the tree of good and evil, right and wrong. Adam and Eve did not know right and wrong before eating of the fruit. So how would they know that God was telling them the truth and that serpent was lying? To me, it would be fairly amazing that a serpent started speaking to me, but they had no frame of reference of right or wrong, who to trust, who to distrust, before eating of the fruit. It seems to me it's a kind of a shell game. This that it's kind of fixed from the beginning. But I would like an honest answer. How do you explain sin when you have an all-powerful God who could have created a universe without sin? And please don't insult my intelligence by saying that's the best that God could do, because I can prove to you that free will can exist without the existence of evil. You can have free will, but freely choose only good choices. And you would say this restricts your free will because you're not able to choose wrong. No, it's not correct. You see, between the number 0 and 100%, there's an infinite amount of numbers. So if God could have created mankind with the ability and only the ability to love him, but he could have changed, let them freely choose how much they were going to love him. Maybe a person like me would only love him 0.0001% of my being. Perhaps a person like you would choose 89.9654% of your being. But as you can see, from 0 to 100%, there's an infinite amount of choices. And you can freely choose what choice you were going to make. And that would not take away your free will. And you don't need to have bad choices in order for that to exist. I'm going to let this video go on a little longer than normal because for some reason whenever I upload a direct cam video it cuts off a couple minutes. So anyways, my main point of the video is how do you explain sin with an all-powerful God who could have created us without the tendency towards sin? And how do you explain the necessity of free will with good versus evil? Those are the questions that I would honestly like to see if you can answer in a way that would make sense to me. So I'm going to sit here for a little bit and let the video go for a little bit longer. Sorry if this whole video gets to you and it gets boring, but I don't know why that the video cuts off toward the end, but it does. So I'm just going to keep going until maybe this is about the 7-minute point or something like that. So if you're still watching this and it's still going, well, once again, I apologize. You seem like a very nice guy, and I don't doubt your sincerity. I don't doubt your belief in your faith. I think it's misguided. I think it's delusional. I obviously don't believe in God, and don't think your God or any other body's God exists and has ever existed. But that's my opinion, and I could change my opinion if presented with decent evidence, and it's going to have to be fairly good evidence, because all the evidence I've seen so far hasn't swayed me toward unbelief. And I fully understand the concept of hell, the concept of heaven, the concept of salvation, the concept of Jesus coming to earth and everything that Jesus did. I understand it completely. I understand it more than most Christians understand it, but it holds no sway over my belief system. So I would honestly like to see your answers to this, and I hope you will watch them, and hopefully I can get some intelligence answers to my questions.